Hi, everyone. My name's Tim Berry. I provide support to the Tax Academy, the company that keeps your retirement plan documents up to date. And they asked me to create a quick video to explain to you the latest provisions of the CARE Act. And we'll probably do a follow up video with some estate planning topics due to the present situation and also some ideas on how you can utilize these new provisions of the CARE Act. And let me start off by saying, I hope you and your family are doing well. This is a crazy time. No one ever thought this could ever happen, that's for sure. So I just hope everyone is doing okay. And so, having said that, let's just kind of dive into the new CARE Act and the key provisions, and most importantly, how you can utilize these things to benefit you and your family in these crazy times. Oh, and speaking of crazy times, please excuse the Zoom background and the webcam quality and the audio. Uh, this is the best with what I've got right now. I don't have access to my normal area where I shoot videos. So forgive me if the audio is not so good and the video quality is not the greatest. Doing the best I can. And hopefully in the future ones, I'll figure out how to do a better job. With that, let's dive right into the CARE Act. First part of the CARE Act is pretty much everything is based upon the definition of something called a coronavirus related distribution. And what is that definition of a coronavirus related distribution? Number one, it's a distribution that's made in the year 2020. Next, it's made to somebody who either A, has been diagnosed with coronavirus, B, a family member has been diagnosed with the coronavirus, or C, they have lost income, have reduced hours, or have faced some financial hardship due to the coronavirus. And I'm more than willing to bet that if you haven't been diagnosed with the coronavirus, you certainly have faced a financial hardship, lost wages, lost hours, lost income due to being quarantined or what have you. So I think it's a very safe bet to say everybody, if they take money out of the retirement plan, is going to be able to meet these definitions of a coronavirus related distribution. Other key concept is that these provisions only apply to the first $100,000 of distributions. So if you take out 150, 50,000 is going to be subject to the normal rules. $100,000 is going to be subject to these new expanded rules. First one, and this is super big. This is really big. In the past, if you were under 59 and a half and you took a distribution, you were subject to a 10% early withdrawal penalty. So if you took out $100,000, you had to pay a penalty of $10,000 to access that money before you were 59 and a half. With this new code provision, that's wiped out. That's waived. The language of the code here says, in general, Section 72T of the code shall not apply to any coronavirus-related distribution. And Section 72T was that horrific section that said if you're under 59 and a half and took a distribution, you had to pay the 10% kicker. Fini, no mas. That's been wiped out for the year 2020 for the first $100,000 of a distribution from a retirement plan. So right there could potentially save you $10,000. Other big provision. Let's say you take that money out and I don't know, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you think that was really stupid to take that money out. It had asset protection inside the retirement plan. It was growing tax deferred, tax free. I should have left it in there. Well, under the new code changes, you can do that. You have up to 3 years to change your mind and put the money back inside the retirement plan. Was talking with a client just the other day. What she's probably going to do is take a distribution of her retirement plan money, that $100,000. Then she's going to invest that money so that it makes long-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains are taxed at a lower bracket than regular ordinary income taxes. So she's got use of that money for a 3-year period. She's paying a lower income tax rate than if she was earning that inside the retirement plan and taking it out. And then she's able to put it right back inside the retirement plan. So another neat little provision of these tax code changes is that you're allowed 3 years to change your mind and put the money back in. Now, along with that 3-year rule, you're also allowed to spread your tax liability on the distribution over a 3-year period. So let's say you take a distribution of $30,000. Okay, cool. Year one, you've got to pay taxes on $10,000. Year two, you got to pay taxes on the other 10,000, and year three, you pay taxes on the other $10,000. So you're able to spread out your tax liability over a 3-year period for these coronavirus related distributions up to $100,000. Another one, and this is really big for self-directed 401k people. In the past, with the self-directed 401k, if you took a distribution of $100,000, you had to withhold 20% or $20,000 and pay that over to the IRS immediately. Well, with this new code provision, if you take a distribution of $100,000, you get $100,000. There's no withholding. So you get all of that money. So this is provides a lot of liquidity to people whenever they take the distributions from the 401k. And along the same lines, in the past, if you were working for the man, if you were working 9 to 5 and you had money inside the retirement plan, you could not access that money until you were over 59 and a half or until you left service for that company. With this new provision, you can gain access to up to $100,000 of that money right now. So now if you don't want your retirement money to be in the control of this other employer, no big deal. What you can do is ask them to move your money over to your self-directed IRA, to your self-directed 401k, and now that money is available for you to invest, not for them to invest. And finally, other big provision is the increase in loan limits for a self-directed 401k. In the past, with the self-directed 401k, you're allowed to borrow out the lesser of 50% of your account balance or $50,000. With these new tax code changes, you're able to borrow out the lesser of 100% of your account balance or $100,000. And by the way, add this to the $100,000 you can take out and pay back within 3 years. You kind of effectively could borrow up to $200,000. So bottom line, really fascinating, interesting new changes to the tax code in regards to retirement plans. Downside is going to create more paperwork. We've got to generate more amendments. You guys will be hearing about that shortly. Brandy said she was going to send out a video dealing with estate planning, but we thought we'd get this one out first. We'll be bringing up the estate planning very shortly, just due to the horrific situation going on. And that brings up again, I really truly hope that you and your family are okay and stay okay. And with that, look forward to talking to you. If anyone has any questions on this stuff whatsoever, give a call, send us an email. More than happy to answer. Thank you very much for your time. Stay safe.